What separates a black belt from a white belt? Other than years of experience, there are habits that these people cultivate that take them from the beginning of their journey all the way to becoming experts, elites, people top ranked in their particular discipline. It's often the consistent, the mundane, the boring behind the scene habits that take you from the beginning of your journey to someone that endures over the long haul to becoming a black belt. If you're serious about training in martial arts or you're just starting out, there are 7 habits that can take you from the start of your journey to becoming a very successful person in your particular discipline or multiple disciplines, depending on what you're training. And these not only apply to martial arts, but they apply to your life, every area of your life. So let's get started. And if I can switch, there we go. Habit number 1, and probably the most important habit for anything, showing up consistently. You have to train when it's hard. You have to train on the days where nothing is going right for you, and you have to just show up. The point of showing up every day isn't for it to be your best training day. It's to continually improve yourself every single day. Again, you might have some fantastic days where you're just killing it. You're, say you're training BJJ, you're tapping everyone out, even the coaches and the instructors. There are going to be days where you can't even get yourself off of the mat or out of someone's guard. But success is built on the routine habit of putting in that effort. It's not about talent. So whatever you have to do, make sure that you're incorporating that into your calendar. And life might get hard. I'm a parent of 2. I don't get to train every day. Sometimes it's just taking mental reps, practicing them, visualizing them, so that on the days that you can be on the mat, you're very intentional with your practice. Of course, it's best to be in the environment, but the point is you want to be in the game every day. Habit number 2, focus on the foundation and the basics. You don't need to chase those flashy moves before mastering the fundamentals that are going to take you so far. And in jiu-jitsu, it's making sure you know how to put your frames in the different areas, the hips, the shoulders, to keep your distance if you're on the bottom. Wrestling, it's learning and taking 1,000 double leg shots, and then 1,000 more, and then 1,000 more, or single legs, or fireman's carry, or high crotch, right? Training those consistently over time, you're going to master those techniques, and it's going to give you an edge in practice because your body is going to remember how to do that technique, whether you're practicing it or if you're in a competition. So drill them constantly and always be working them. And it doesn't mean you can't practice the fun, flashy moves. You're doing a flying squirrel over your opponent, or you're doing a flying arm bar, right? You can practice and have fun with those things too. But where mastery comes and where people truly succeed is mastering those basics and executing them to a T. Number 3, stay humble and stay coachable. And what this is really meaning is learning at every opportunity that is presented to yourself. It could be learning from the instructors that are teaching with you. You may not like the way that someone shows it. You might not like their voice or tone on how they're showing you stuff. You can also be learning from people that may be less experienced from you, and they may be able to show you something just by being present and fully engaged in your role with them, right? It's about having a constant growth mindset and being able to learn every day. And at the end of that, respecting your coaches, respecting your partners, because if you don't, people aren't going to want to work with you, and then you, in return, aren't able to continue to learn from them. Habit number 4. Prioritize your recovery and your nutrition. So your body is only going to sustain itself as long as you continue to fuel it with the right things. You train hard, you eat clean, that's getting all of your essential nutrients through your vegetables, your fruits. If you eat meat and choose that as part of your lifestyle, getting the proper proteins and meats, and all the vitamins and minerals that your body needs. And sometimes that requires supplementation. But making sure your body's getting all of the fuel and nutrients that it needs to sustain itself, because training is hard. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of effort. And so you need your body to be at its best and give it its best. Sleeping. You want to make sure you're getting adequate sleep. I know that's one thing I've struggled with over the years. I tend to not sleep as much as the normal person. I can usually thrive. I'm around 6 hours of sleep, but that's not everyone. Figure out what your rhythm is. Most people need somewhere between 7 and 9 hours of sleep. So make sure you're getting that in, because when you're well rested, you are also able to perform at your best. And of course, making sure you're hydrating. Again, use that rule of thumb. Half of your body weight in pounds. Take that, convert that to ounces. You should be drinking that roughly every day. And if you are losing a bunch of water weight during training sessions, make sure you're rehydrating all of those ounces afterwards as well. This also helps prevent injuries, and it allows you to optimize your performance. If you're eating well, sleeping well, hydrating well, you're going to perform better during practices, during competitions. It just sets you up for so much better success. Build mental discipline. Martial arts is a heavily mental game. Just like many things. But you got to go out there. You got to train yourself. Learn to calm yourself with your breath work. Be in the moment. Be focused. And learn how to be calm under pressure. Because if you can't do those things, then you're definitely not going to set yourself up to succeed and execute well. Being calm, your body's going to be able to just go through all of that practice that you've been training for, and allow you to just execute. And you're not going to succeed on every attempt on moves that you might shoot 3-4 times. You might have to set if you're in a wrestling match, you might have to do 3, 4, 5 different setups before you can actually get an opening for your double leg or your high crotch or your slide by, whatever it is. But keeping calm in the match is going to keep a level head. You'll be able to think strategically on how you can succeed and win that match. And mental stillness equals physical sharpness. If you can keep a sharp mind, you can succeed in just about anything. Number 6, set clear goals. Have intention every single day, every single week, things that you're working towards. If you're wanting to progress your belt level, figure out what are the things that you have to do in order to get to that next stripe or that next belt level. And one thing that I like to do is model yourself off of someone that's ahead of where you're at. Understand what they're doing and reverse engineer what they've done back to your position and continue to execute on those habits. It might be training particular moves that are well equipped for you and your body set. It's again properly training and getting all the nutrition that you need, learning how to coach. Because the best way that you can learn something, you take the repetition, take the exercise, take the technique, understand it for yourself, and then be able to teach it to someone. When you're able to teach something well, so that other people can understand, you're about 95% of the way there. That is the highest level of learning, is when you are able to distill something down simple enough and teach it to someone else that they can then understand and learn from your experience. And make sure you've got short-term and long-term goals. Again, maybe you're working towards that belt. That's going to be a few months out. but you may also be trying to really focus in on your double leg shot this week, right? Set those goals, be intentional with your practices, and continue to provide that feedback loop where you're learning every single day so that you can make progress towards these goals. And here's the last one. Surround yourself with warriors or people that are pushing you to become your best self. As they say, iron sharpens iron. You want to be in rooms where people are elevating you to become the person that you're seeking to become, to progress yourself up the belt ranks, to become an instructor, to become that state champion, right? You need people in the room that are pushing you to become that person. Because if you're not in those rooms and you're in rooms where everyone, where you're kind of the top dog, so to speak, then the only way that you can then stretch yourself is to take yourself out of that environment and getting into environments where you're pushed. So that's the 7 habits. Let's review them real quick. I'll scroll through them super fast. But 1, you got to show up consistently every day. 2, master the basics. Don't necessarily look for those flashy moves, because those basics are what are going to take you so far within your journey in your martial arts discipline. Stay humble and coachable. Constantly figure out ways to learn. Prioritize your fuel and your recovery through nutrition, sleep, and hydration. Come on, number 5. Build mental discipline. Because again, just like in life, your mentality going into things is always going to dictate whether or not you're going to succeed or not. Have clear goals, what you're working towards, so that you can practice, put in the activities that are going to help you achieve those goals, and surround yourself with people that can help you achieve those goals. People that are going to push you and elevate you and hold you to the standard that's required to become that person that, again, is a black belt or a state champion, Olympic champion, right? That's the 7 habits. Take them, apply them to your life, apply them to your practice and your training routine. And if you like content like this, hit that subscribe button. And lastly, if you are looking for training or strength training and mobility training, I do offer a course, and I work with people personally. Book a call below and check out if it's something for you. This is very specified for martial arts enthusiasts and people that are training. But this strength training does apply to everyone. So if it is something that you are looking for some help with, would love to see if it's great for you. And we'll check you out in the next video.